Hey there, Cherie here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with another fun and easy sewing tutorial. I hope you'll enjoy it. Okay, so let's continue on with our projects from Quick Sew K4299. Today we're going to sew together, again, one of the easier, they're all easy, but this is like super easy. We are making views C and D. Okay, so we're going to sew them together because again, the sewing is the same. They're just two different sizes. So let's go over what we need for this project. It's telling us that we need to cut two pieces of fabric for fabric 1, which is the exterior. And then we need to cut 2 pieces of fabric 2, which will be the lining. And then we will need a zipper. For view C, they're calling it a clutch or a zipper pouch. That dimensions are 9 inches by 11 inches. And so you need to have, in addition to the fabric, like I said, the fusible interfacing. Again, I'm going to be quilting mine like I've done with all the projects in this series. And then for the zipper, for view C, you need a 12-inch zipper. And then for view D, you need to have a 7-inch zipper, okay? And then remember, I mentioned the fabric and the interfacing. So they're calling it a coin purse, view D. The dimensions on that is 3.5 inches by 4 inches, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna get these cut out. And again, I'm doing the same thing that I've done before. Let me show you the two fat quarters that I pulled from that bundle for these. I'm going to use this plaid for the lining, and I'm gonna use this floral for the exterior on both of them. And so, yeah, I'm gonna work on these simultaneously because again, all the steps are the same. And then what I'm going to do is, again, just check your placement because I need to have 2 pieces of these. And so, okay, this is too big for me to get 2 pieces. So what am I going to do here? I'm gonna have to pull another fat quarter to have for the back. That's what I'm going to do. All right, hang on. Okay, so I pulled this one. This is actually a remnant piece left over. I used a little piece of that for one of the other projects in this series. I think for the little wallet, which I'm not sure the order that I'm going to release these. But I used this little section for something else. And so I'm going to use this for the back side of view C, since it's larger. And then I have another fabric that I will use. So see, yeah, I'm gonna place that here like that. Does it matter if I do it like this? Can I fit 2? No, I still can't fit 2. Yeah, so I'm gonna have view C. That's gonna have a different fabric on the exterior front than on the exterior back. So if you weren't dealing with fat quarters, again, you will follow the yardage requirements as outlined on the pattern, which I'm guessing this is probably telling you you need a 1/2 yard of fabric. I'm just pinning this in place so that I can cut out the fabric. And remember, I'm going to do the simple quilting here. So I'm going to leave some extra fabric around the pattern piece, not cutting it down to size until after I quilt it. Okay, so these are going to be the 2 front pieces for view C. And then for view D, I'm just going to use this. So for this one, I'm just going to fold that in half, and I'm going to pin this down. cut around it. And I might come back and just use up the rest of this extra fabric to make more of these. I'm not sure. For sure, I'm going to cut this. These are just rough cuts again. So I have my 2 exterior pieces. Now I have to think, do I want to go ahead and do this as the lining? I think I'm just going to go ahead and use this same fabric for the lining. Okay, let's make sure this, yeah, that pattern piece fits. I'm going to use the same fabric for the lining. So view C, I'm just going to use all of this for that. So I'm going to put this aside to be used for the lining. And now I have to get my lining for C, the larger one. So again, because this fabric, I'm only going to be able to cut out 1 piece of UC, I'm going to have to use another scrap fabric from that bundle to cut out for the lining. Actually, I had 1 more fat quarter that I hadn't used yet. I was going to use this for the final project in this bundle, but I'm going to go ahead and use this instead. And so I'm just going to put these 2 aside. These are for my lining. And after I get these quilted, I will come back and cut that all out, and then we'll move forward with the sewing. So yeah, I'll be back to show you what it looks like quilted, and then we'll move on. So I'm back from doing the quilting, and I'll just show you what I decided to do for these is just a little bit of free motion quilting, outlining the flowers and some of the stems, just to add, you know, some visual interest to this. Still using that variegated thread on purpose. And then on the back sides, I just did the typical kind of cross hatch or, you know, like a little diamond pattern. And I did that by just stitching on the diagonal in one direction and then turning and going over. And I just used the, my sewing machine has a table that has a ruler along the edge, and I just evenly spaced them as best I can. This is just a fun, quick tutorial, so I wasn't marking to have everything perfectly spaced. And so this is going to be the one side of the small zipper pouch, which is view D. So one side will be with the free motion echo quilting, and then this one will be the other side for the exterior. And I got to go in and cut all these threads off. I just want to show you where I'm at. And then here are the two fabrics for the larger one, which is view C. So I'm going to go in, gonna cut off the strings, and then I'm gonna pin the pattern pieces down. And here I'm not really worried about any kind of placement. I'm just gonna pin this down and cut it out. I just have the two markings here for zipper placement, and then I have these notches to cut out here at the bottom just to indicate that this is the bottom of the bag. There's nothing else that needs to be marked on here. And on this one, I decided I'm going to go ahead and interface the larger one. I'm not going to interface the smaller one since I've already done the quilting with the double-sided fusible fleece. And so with the smaller one, same thing, I'll pin that down. I'll do the notches on the side. Oh, this one also has notches on the side to line that up. I'll do my notches at the bottom. I'll mark at the top these little circles for my zipper placement. And then I will do the same thing for the lining. And remember here, for the smaller one, I'm just going to use the rest of that same fabric for the lining. And then for the larger one, I have these two fat quarters reserved, but I'm going to cut that out. And then I have already cut out my two pieces of interfacing, which will get ironed to the lining sides for view C, okay? All right, so I'm going to get all this prepped, and I'll show you what that looks like before we start sewing.
The sky is blue, the sun is high, sitting here on my own. I think of you, you're on my mind, you know. To me that's alright. Green grass on my neighbor's lawn. Maybe I should take a stroll. And to me that's alright. To me that's alright. I spend my days just dreaming about you. Well, now that's just what I will do. I'm telling you, the sky is blue, the sun is high. I'm sitting here on my own. I think of you, you're on my mind, you know. To me that's alright. Green grass on my neighbor's lawn. Maybe I should take a stroll. And to me that's alright. You know, to me that's alright. You know, to me that's alright.
All right, so now we are ready to do our zipper installation of these two little zipper pouches. These are views C and D. We're going to start with C, the larger one, and I'm going to use this to demo to you how to lay out your fabric so you can install your zipper. Now, when I'm making my own zipper bags from scratch, I have a slightly different way that I do things. And I'm going to share that with you guys at some point. But for now, we're going to just follow these simple directions again, because I'm trying to make this very beginner friendly. If you are an intermediate or advanced sewer, you probably know, you probably have other ways of doing things. Anyway, but we're going to go ahead here and follow. We're down here, bag C, D, E, and F all have the same directions for their zipper installation. So again, in this video, we're just doing C and D. E and F will be in another video. But we are here. And so, okay, so first we're going to lay down our fabrics, and we're going to make a sandwich between the lining fabric, the zipper, and our outer quilted fabric, okay? So let's see, I'm going to do these two together on one side. It doesn't matter. I don't even know why I'm being so particular, but this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to have my lining fabric faced up, and make sure you're working with the edge that has the that doesn't have the two notches at the bottom, because that's your bottom piece. Okay, so my zipper is a little bit too long, so I'm going to lay my zipper like so, and this rest of it, this extra, is going to get cut off. Let me get this all in the frame. So I have my lining fabric faced up, and this one is interfaced this time. I'm going to lay my zipper down, and the directions are telling you to go in and baste this. I would do this, especially if you're new to this, so that your zipper doesn't shift. I'm going to skip that step for the sake of this video. I've done this a lot and I feel pretty comfortable, but again, baste it down if you need to. It's just so the zipper isn't slipping out of place. And then to complete the sandwich, you're going to take your outer fabric, which for me is quilted, and you're going to lay that on top. And you see, this is just one of the little tricks I did, and I was supposed to do it just like the directions, but I forgot when I was at the iron. I like to go ahead and do this little iron fold down along the seam, because I know then I line that up, and that's kind of like I stitch right next to that line, because then I know that's where it's going to fold back and expose the zipper teeth. So I'm going to pin this down, and then I'm going to change my sewing machine foot. Actually, I already have a narrow foot on. You should put your zipper foot on, and then you're going to sew right outside of the zipper teeth, and you should feel it. Or again, if you want to do the little fold line, you can do that to give yourself an indication on where to sew, okay? Okay, so I did the stitching. Let me just fold that over so you can see what that looks like. So see here, I have my little crease already in there. So it folds over. Here's the zipper. Right. And so now what we got to do is repeat that. So take this one like this, because you don't need to do anything else with this lower portion. And you're going to repeat that. You're going to put your, see, this is the side with the two notches. That's the indicating the bottom of the bag. So you have the second lining piece with the top pointing up and facing up. Now you're going to line the zipper up to that edge. You're going to put that there. And same thing, you can come in, let me get it lined up, right? You want to make sure you have it lined up. And then you want to come in and you want to do your basting stitch if you need to keep that in place. And now you're going to take your second piece and you're going to line that up. And remember, you're only dealing with that raw edge up here, which has your outer, for me, quilted piece, your zipper, and your lining piece, which is interfaced. That's what you're going to sew. Don't worry about all this other stuff down here. Just leave that alone, okay? Okay, so now I got that pinned, and I'm just going to go and sew across that same thing. Use your zipper foot so you can get up to the edge. And again, I just went on and folded mine over and kind of created the crease stitching line so I know where I'm going to be stitching. All right, so I got that stitched down. I'm going to come in and cut off the extra. Let me show you what these sandwiches look like. So I have this here. Okay. I have my thing again pressed down so it's neat. I have my zipper. Whoops, I got some strings caught in there. I gotta get those strings out. But I'll clip the strings off and test my zipper. And in the meantime, I'm gonna come over here and just cut off this excess zipper. Just cut it. And now what you're gonna do, I'm gonna have the zipper open, okay? And now we need to sew the right sides of the exterior together and the right sides of the lining together. And we're gonna do that all together. And excuse all my strings, y'all. For demo's sake, I'm trying to get through this tutorial. Okay, so we're gonna get this laid down. We're matching up those seams and having them down flat. Can you see that? And we're gonna start pinning all the way around the circumference here. And I'm gonna leave an opening in the bottom of the lining portion. You can leave an opening on the side, whatever you feel is most comfortable for you. But we're just gonna pin around all four sides. And we're gonna sew around all four sides. And again, just leaving that opening so that we can turn. And then again, we're just gonna leave that opening so we can turn the bag right side out, okay? All right, I got this all pinned and now I'm gonna go to the sewing machine. I'm gonna do mine, I'm gonna go straight off the edge. Then I'm gonna come back here so I have those nice sharp 90-degree angles like I like. And remember here, actually let me adjust this. I'll leave my opening. So I'm gonna have here. Just like this. I'm gonna start sewing here, come down, and I'm gonna end sewing here, all right? All right, so I got my edges sewn. I'm gonna go in and when we made the tote bag in the part 1 video of the series, which I will be linking to in the description box, we did the same thing. I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna get this extra zipper out and then just clipping those other 4 corners. So I'm clipping those other 4 corners. And now we're gonna reach in and turn her right side out. And that's why you need to leave the zipper open, because you need to be able to reach all the way in. If you have your zipper closed though, you won't be able to reach into that section of the pouch and pull the right side out. So don't forget that part. Okay, all right. So we gotta go in here and do some pokey poke with my little poking tool, get the corners. We're gonna get those corners pushed out. All right, so we got that poked out. Now, actually, see, before that, well, I'm gonna go ahead and just show you what it looks like, and then I'll sew up that final seam, because you can stitch that up on the sewing machine or with some hand basting. It's up to you. But I'm just anxious to show you what this looks like. So let's just get this poked out. Okay. All right, and this one here doesn't really create a corner because that's the end of where the zipper is. All right, friends, so we are almost done. It's the corners are poked out. The only thing I have to do is the other side. This is so simple, so cute. And I mean, you can make this in different sizes to very easily, right? Just make your rectangles or your square bigger. Make sure you have the right length zipper, and you just follow these steps. So if you wanted to make this as a computer bag or for your iPad, you know, different size travel bags, it's very easy to modify the pattern by just cutting that pattern piece bigger. Just making sure you know, it depends if you want it rectangular or square. Just add on around that perimeter and use a zipper size accordingly. And I think I will share some videos coming up this fall of different sizes and shapes, but the same kind of concept. Okay. All right. So I'm going to just pin that closed for now so I can stitch it. And then, yeah, I'll be back with the other. I'm going to sew up the small one and we'll be done. Okay, friends. So we have finished our pouches. As I said, I went back to the sewing machine. I just closed up the opening that I had left in the lining to do the turnout, just with some edge stitching. I just went to the iron and just kind of pressed these all down. I repeated the exact same thing on the smaller zipper. And yeah, I think they're cute. I think they're really cute. And I definitely will encourage you, especially if you just want to get some practice in quilting, practice in putting in zippers. These are fun projects to do. They make great gifts, and I mean, we can all use pouches. And again, because of the sizing of these pouches and the way the pattern is, you can very easily, you know, just add an inch or two around the circumference of that pattern piece if you want it bigger, if you just want it longer, right? If you want it, you know, not as wide but tall. Once you get the hang of just the concept, I mean, you can make zipper pouches in any size you want. Okay, so remember we made view C and view D on here. This one here, I think this is view C, just fold it over. So, you know, if you wanted to even carry this as like a little clutch. Yeah, but anyway, view C, view D. And in the first part of this series, we did the 2 tote bags, view A and B. And then I'll see you guys back here in a day or two on the channel where we will move on and we will do E and F. All right, so I thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you back here on the channel again soon while we continue to play with fabrics from this incredibly beautiful Kaffe Fasset 16-piece fat quarter bundle. And quick sew 4299. All right, I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.
The sky is blue, the sun is high. Sitting here on my own, I think of you, you're on my mind, you know. To me that's alright. Green grass on my neighbor's lawn. Maybe I should take a stroll. And to me that's alright.